Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Alex Paul from InvestorStream, and I'll be your host today. Presenting for you this morning is AnteoTech Managing Director David Radford, who will be discussing the release of the interim financial report for the half year ended 31 December 2023. A copy of the half year report will be available for download by navigating to the handouts pane in the GoToWebinar control panel. A replay of the webinar will also be available on AnteoTech's website and social media platforms later today, but I would like to throw it over to David to kick things off for us. David, the floor is yours.
Alex, thank you very much, and good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for taking the time to attend this update. As you're aware, AnteoTech is a company that is looking at the accelerated commercialization of technologies both in the clean energy space and the point of care technologies. We are developing solutions that offer performance improvements, enhancements, both through reduction in raw materials and also in terms of labor productivity in a cost-effective solution for these sectors. As a company, we are a specialized high-tech chemistry company with unique proprietary products that, as I say, are applicable both to the lithium-ion battery technology sector and the point of care sector. We're at an early stage of commercialization, and we have moved from an R&D focused company, to a market-led, sales-driven organization. And we have a lot of exciting opportunities ahead of us across both market sectors. If I look at our three key products that we are leading with, two in clean energy and one in life sciences, we've had some considerable movement and developments over the last 6 months. AnteoX is a product that we are using as a high-performance binding technology to enable the transition to higher silicon. We've had our first sales to a leading international car company for incorporation in their next generation anode. This represents a significant milestone for us. In the high silicon anode space, we are working with 70% silicon in our anodes. Currently, the market is struggling to get beyond 15%. So you can see as a quantum step change there with our technology. We've been able to produce that now at a small scale up model. AnteoBind we have reformulated, and we have the release of a new product, AnteoBind NXT, which is targeted at the EDC market, which is a rapidly growing area in the point of care technology. We're also engaged with a meaningful negotiation with a leading international player for an ongoing supply of AnteoBind. So some significant developments over the past 6 months. Again, as you are aware, our AnteoX and high silicon anodes are applicable across the lithium-ion battery spectrum. This ranges from consumer electronics through to big storage solutions. At the end of the day, we are part of this battery revolution that is going on, with products that are enabling increased energy density, a lower cost of delivered energy per kilowatt hour by reducing the input costs, and we are working on further improving the performance of products through the incorporation of AnteoX and developing our own high silicon anode. The silicon, the reason behind silicon is if you're looking at an electric vehicle, for example, increasing the silicon anode, increasing the silicon in the anode reduces range anxiety by giving a higher range of travel for an electric vehicle. It also enables a faster charging, so thereby addressing two of the key restrictions on EV take-up. From a consumer perspective, consumer electronics perspective, we can make batteries lighter, we can make them smaller, and we can increase the time between charge duration. So we have some significant value propositions across the move to high silicon. If I look at the highlights, we have made some significant advances in the first half of this financial year. I will talk about those in more details as we go through the presentation, but suffice to say, we now have the building blocks in place that will enable us to make the transition to larger scale production of product, both AnteoX and ultra-high silicon anode. In parallel with that, we are able to demonstrate very material price reductions by using AnteoX in silicon anodes. And this represents a big step forward for us as we look at the clean energy technology market. The AnteoBind NXT product is being released to the market as we speak for use as a cost-effective solution for a substitute for EDC technology, which is currently a market of about $700 million. So we can now start playing in the price competitive area of that market. So significant advances both in terms of product capability and product range. As I look at our first revenues, as we announced in December, we have been working with a major electric vehicle company in Europe. We've worked with them closely over the last 9 months as they're looking to reduce the cost of their electric batteries and drive increased performance. The evaluations that we have been doing both in-house in Brisbane and in-house in Europe are confirmatory results. So everything that we've been able to demonstrate in-house here has been replicated in the car manufacturer's laboratory. Our goal is to get to a design freeze for the next iteration of batteries. And what that means is that once we get to a design freeze, we then have AnteoX incorporated in the next iteration of the batteries. And to give you an idea of the sort of volume we're talking about, each electric vehicle that uses the battery that is the subject of the design freeze could use up to 1 litre of AnteoX. And this is a considerable opportunity for us as we look to the future. We are currently working through an evaluation process that is very standard for these large multinational companies, and the results that we are generating in parallel with them are exceeding our expectations. In December, we attended the Advanced Automotive Battery Conference in America in 2023. The data that we were presenting there really came about as a result of the demands from our customers saying they wanted us to reduce the cost of electric vehicle batteries, but they wanted us to improve the performance. As we work through this process, we've been able to generate savings of approximately $500 per electric vehicle by the removal of very expensive carbon nanotubes. To put it in perspective, the carbon nanotubes that are used in lithium-ion batteries range in price from about $8,000 per kilogram up to $12,000 per kilogram. We've been able to demonstrate a 15-fold reduction in these components. So as a result of the presentation that our Chief Technology Officer gave, we have had some significant engagement now from a wide range of marquee electric vehicle companies with an interest in looking at how they can improve both their cost and their performance profile, all of which contributes to a lower cost per kilowatt delivered. Interestingly, the carbon nanotube companies have also seen a significant opportunity to work with us, and we are engaging with several of the leading companies with a view to potentially engaging to develop a combined carbon nanotube AnteoX solution. From a customer perspective, anything that gives them this higher performance with a lower input cost will be welcomed. And we're excited about the opportunity to work in this environment where we are focused really on providing a significant solution to the lithium-ion battery quandary, which is how do we reduce cost and drive performance. We see this as being a very big opportunity for us in the near term. In the first half of financial year 2024, we've also seen significant engagement from consumer electronic battery manufacturers. And the reason for that is they also see the same demands. They want to reduce the cost per kilowatt hour, and they want to increase the energy density, thereby with a net impact of reducing the cost per kilowatt hour. Obviously, from a customer perspective, the benefit is a more price competitive point, but it also means that they will be doing fewer charging cycles because the batteries will be lasting longer. AnteoTech is our lead product there, and we have no doubt that we will be able to demonstrate both increased energy duration and a lower cost for the partners that we are working with. Interestingly, we have also developed opportunities that we've labeled here Generation 1 and Generation 2 for our ultra-high silicon anode technology. Our first Generation 1 product is targeted with consumer electronics in mind that need 800 charge-discharge cycles. Now, this seems like a long way away, but I would put in context that we are currently, with our 70% silicon anode, working at 650 cycles and 80% energy retention. We have been able to make that transition to a high silicon anode using metallurgical grade silicon and AnteoTech to really drive cost out, but also to drive performance up. Our second generation, we are looking at big storage systems for energy storage that could be used in house situations, it could be industrial storage, and there we require 1,000 charge-discharge cycles. We've separated these out as two separate projects because we've applied for government support and funding for both of these projects. We believe that they will have a material impact upon Australia's energy transition to energy storage systems. And as you would appreciate, any validation of this by achievement of a government grant would be a significant validation for us. Our AnteoTech production facility we announced earlier in the month. We are now at a stage of commissioning the project. We want to make sure that everything is commissioned and validated through our ISO 9001 process. We have a first stage capacity of 20,000 litres, which you can see here, the mixing vat down in the photograph in the bottom right hand corner. This is very scalable to 80,000 litres. And the feedback that we've had from our customers is that this ability to produce AnteoTech in initial volumes gives us enormous credibility. As I mentioned at the AGM, the feedback from our customers and potential customers is one of, we are hearing a lot of companies in the market that are promising the world but are unable to deliver. This is just yet another credibility point for us as we look to partner with these clients. And it represents a huge step forward with us in the Brisbane facilities. AnteoBind, we've further developed to our lead product now of the Anteo NXT. This product improves workflow efficiencies. It's available at a significantly reduced price point to AnteoBind, and it offers a saving of up to 40% on assay developments. In parallel with that, we are currently negotiating a proposal for the long-term supply of the existing AnteoBind. So we have a lot of projects underway in the life sciences area, but basically premised around the new AnteoTech product that we are taking to market. So the Anteo NXT. In terms of financials and funding, we have a market cap sitting around the 70 million. We reported a cash of 4.6 million. Our revenues are increasing for the first half year, and our cost savings are over 2 million when compared to the same time last year. Our key priorities to drive the revenues, we've shown this at the AGM, but it's really converting the AnteoTech opportunities into commercial agreements. You know, we have a portfolio approach to this. We're looking to leverage our production capabilities, which we now have up and undergoing validation. We are looking to optimize and develop our proprietary ultra-high silicon anodes. And again, as I mentioned, we're focused very heavily on commercialization of AnteoBind and the AnteoBind NXT. And as I mentioned earlier, we are currently negotiating a long-term supply agreement for AnteoBind. As I look forward, I think it's important to also have a look back to 2023. We had some very big targets for the year. We didn't hit all of them, and I say that unashamedly. We had some enormous targets, and unfortunately, we were unable to deliver on all of them. 2024 and beyond, we have some further significant targets for the year. The company philosophy is we are aiming big. We want to make 2024 the year of AnteoTech. We are prepared to take the swing to make these deliverables work and deliver upon them. We see them as achievable, we see them as real, but we see them as stretch. And we are in a very good position from an overall company perspective, with the focus, with the right team, doing the right things to get us there. We are now, as I said earlier, we are market-led, sales-driven, and the team and the organization is well positioned for that. Our leadership team is working extremely well together. We have tremendous commercialization and technological skill sets that will enable us to achieve these targets. Not only do we have a tremendous leadership team, but our next generation of leaders that we are developing as we continue to expand this business are stepping up to the challenges we have set them for the year ahead. We have an outstanding team. We have a company that is driving all the right ESG metrics. We have tremendous diversity as a team across the board, across the leadership. And as we look at the business, we are employing the right people to do the right job, irrespective of gender or nationality. And it is really contributing to the success that we're having. We're working in the important areas of lithium-ion batteries and point-of-care technologies, and we're extremely excited about the path ahead. As I close the 5 key takeaways, we are well positioned with a portfolio approach for the next generation battery technology. We have projects underway in the consumer electronics sector. We have projects underway working in developing smart chemistries that will reduce cost and drive performance. We have technology advancements working in the EV sector and the battery storage sector. We have multiple shots on goal with this. The technologies we are developing are productivity enhancing. They reduce costs, they improve performance, and they aid productivity for our customers. These are all key messages that we're receiving as we speak to the customers. Our customers are industry leaders. We are, and I've used the expression before, we're an Australian minnow, but we are punching above our weight, and we are getting the respect from these global leaders for the technology that we are developing and they are validating. We have multiple revenue opportunities across both businesses, and we have a tremendous team, systems and processes that are now in place to enable us to commercialize the business. The company has never been in a better space, and I'm extremely excited about the next 12 months ahead. So, Alex, thank you very much. I'll be pleased to answer any questions that you may have that have been submitted to us. Thank you all.
Thanks, David. And we have had a couple of questions come through. I'd firstly like to start with, in December, you announced the successful production of an anode containing AnteoX for an EV manufacturer. Can you just provide an update on how that evolution is going and what are the next steps for you?
Yes, thanks, Alex. But we produced our first commercial anode. This was a proprietary high silicon anode that was provided to us by the car manufacturer. They believed that it was enhanced for performance and wanted to see what we could achieve with the addition of AnteoX. Firstly, we were able to decrease their raw material or component costs by that $500 per battery. But equally as importantly, as we move forward to the commercial production of the product, as we worked with the outsourced manufacturer, they had struggled themselves with actually enabling production of high silicon anodes. The AnteoX improved the manufacturability considerably, which was very pleasing. The results that we have been able to demonstrate with this company have been very pleasing and exceeded our expectations. And the feedback that we have had from this car manufacturer last week is that we are doing a tremendous job in helping them look at decreasing costs and increasing performance. So we are now in their internal evaluation process. As I mentioned earlier, we want to get ourselves into that design freeze for the next iteration of batteries. And what that means is in cars with that next iteration of lithium-ion batteries, we could be using up to a litre of AnteoX. So it is a very important project for us, and the results are exceeding our expectations.
Thanks, David. Now, we just saw some photos of the AnteoX production facility. Where are you at with the commissioning, and what's the plan for you going forward?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. The commissioning has commenced, and for those of you not familiar with the ISO quality accreditation, we have to validate our systems and processes to prove and confirm that we are working under a defined quality management system. So part of what we are doing is going through that validation step, which is similar to us. We're going through a critical step before we lock in the process and formulation. And it's a bit like a design freeze for us. We have the product formulation, but we are now moving to a commercial stage of production. So we have to validate that that is still appropriate at this larger scale. It is very much a process that we have to go through, and it is very important to us. I'd like to just digress, as I mentioned, the ISO accreditation, and in some recent outstanding news for the company, we had our surveillance audit for ISO 9001 and ISO 13485 accreditation, and we reported 0 non-conformances. And what that means from a company perspective is that our systems and processes are very robust and appropriate as we enter into this scaling up of product. So to answer your question, we're going through commissioning of equipment, validation of the output, and then we will be looking to commence early stage scale up of AnteoX product here in Brisbane.
Thanks, David. Now, we have received a number of questions on the progress of AnteoBind sales and your new product, AnteoBind NXT. Could you just please provide an update for us?
Yes. So, firstly, without belaboring a point, we have a target of 2 AnteoBind commercial targets. We are currently engaged with very advanced negotiations with a world-leading organisation for a long-term supply of AnteoBind to this organisation for use in their quality control processes. So it is being very well received, as we have said before. The trick now is closing that contract, but as I say, we are involved in negotiations there. The NXT product has been validated, and we are now releasing that to targeted point-of-care companies involved in the manufacturing, whether it be of agricultural, medical, or industrial point-of-care testing products. The results that we're receiving from that is that the sensitivity is enhanced, the cost point is very comparable to what they're currently using, and the ease of use is significant. So we've said on several occasions that the ease of use, the ability to activate particles, reduce process complexity is a key selling point for the AnteoBind, and this is being confirmed with Anteo NXT. And the team are gearing up for a more formal launch into the broader point-of-care market over the next couple of weeks. So things are moving very well on the AnteoBind side of the business. Thank you.
Thanks, David. And just in closing, where do you see AnteoTech today, and how is the position moving forward as we enter the calendar year of 2024?
Alex, thank you. We have built the solid foundations for growth. As I mentioned earlier, we have the right people doing the right things with a focus upon commercialization. We're doing a great job of talking to our customers and understanding what they want and designing solutions and products that meet their needs. We have a broad portfolio of opportunities across a wide spectrum of businesses. So, as I mentioned with the team, we have a tremendous team, from our technical team, our quality team, and our leadership teams. We have the right people with a focus on delivery in 2024. And I'm very excited about the opportunities we have. We're taking some big swings. We are all shareholders and we're all invested in driving hard for the outcome. So, yeah, I'm excited by the year ahead. So thank you very much, Alex. And I don't know if you've got any further questions, but pleased to answer them.
No worries. Thanks, David. Look, thank you all for joining me. And I'd like to note the outstanding turnout for today's webinar, which is really appreciated by myself and obviously the AnteoTech team. I also like to thank David for taking the time to present for us. David, before I let you go, any final comments you want to leave with us today?
Look, I think I've really wrapped up. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, we're excited by the year ahead. We're an energized team focused on delivery for 2024.
As I mentioned before, a webinar replay will be on AnteoTech's website and social media platforms later today. That wraps it up for us here. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.